We begin tonight with new information. UP Police Departments are into another year of handling disputes in their jurisdictions. With that comes new approaches to work and learning some new moves. Houghton police officers share how they're planning to grow with TV6 Houghton Hancock Bureau reporter Colin Jackson.
The City of Houghton Police Department is readying itself for another year of work and training. The department is required to undergo annual training by the Michigan Commission on Law Enforcement Standards.
For 2024, each certified officer had to do 12 hours of mandatory training. 4 of those had to be MCOL specified. Ethics, victims' rights, things like that.
For the remaining 8 hours of training, Zalmi says officers could choose between several MCOL's approved courses that will improve their performance. These include de-escalation, human trafficking, and legal updates. Starting this year, the training has doubled to 24 hours. Officers will now do 8 hours of MCOL specified training and 16 hours of other training. This will also be required in 2026.
They want to make sure everyone is trained and properly trained.
Speaking about the number of complaint calls the department has received, Houghton Police Chief John Donnelly says pre-pandemic, there were more than 3,000 recorded calls annually for a decade.
During the pandemic, our numbers significantly dropped to well below 3,000.
Donnelly says in 2022, there were roughly 2,200 calls recorded. Last year, the number came back up to 2,890. Donnelly says the number of calls is starting to increase again now that traffic and activities are returning to pre-pandemic levels. He expects the calls to level out again in the low 3,000s starting this year. Donnelly adds the department might record complaints differently.
At one time, it was a very simple spreadsheet that we just take in on the complaints. Now the officers have to take more information, put more information into the computer system itself, which becomes a little bit more time consuming, and we might not be counting some things as a complaint that we had counted prior.
Donnelly says an example of something that may not be entered in as a complaint includes simple parking complaints or something very minor. Colin Jackson, TV6 News, Houghton.